Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 9 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone had a great day, safe day. Let's make it a great night, folks. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Don't make assumptions. Learn to ask questions. It is always better to ask questions than to make an assumption. Have the courage to ask questions until you are as clear as you can be. Once you hear the answer to the question, you won't have to make the assumption because you will know the truth. That's if they tell you the truth, right? Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow Industrials down 62, NASDAQ off 11, S&P's off $6, gold contract up $11.30, trading at $1,603 an ounce. Silver up 4 pennies at $28.85 an ounce. Platinum down $10, trading at $1,579 an ounce. Copper smoked, baby, down 10 cents at $3.41 a pound. They took that to the cleaners, the woodshed, all of the above. Oil flat at $93.61 a barrel. Bonds up a full point at 142.23. King dollar on the move once again, up 379.6 at 82.84. Euro down $1.14, trading out at 129.61, and the yen flat at 95.30. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. I know what's going on in your world. In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. So cash S&P today, you had it down to the 1560 level. 1545. You closed at the 1551. What you have out here, folks, is that we did, what was interesting is that you had to rebalance it on Friday. So what you did have is that you had big volume come in on Friday. And the amazing thing, I've seen this so many times too, folks, bottom line, rebalancing, no rebalancing. What you had out there is that you did come off those highs with volume, and we're talking about 1.8 billion. The amazing part, of course, is that you not only come off with it, then what ends up happening is that in Cyprus, they turned around, and on Saturday, they basically confiscated the citizens' money from the tune of whether it's 9% to 12% of the accounts, and what that's all about is the bailout. And that, you know, the position in Cyprus, it's not a huge country. There's no two ways about that. What it is, and this is what jolted the markets in a dramatic sense, was that the 17 finance ministers of the European Union decided that this is the way that they wanted to do business. And specifically, picture this, you go to bed at night, you wake up in the morning, and let's say you have just 10% less money inside your account if you, in fact, have it in the bank. That's what's going on. Now, in that context, what was supposed to happen is that the banks, there's a holiday there today anyway, banks are supposed to open tomorrow. Now, the banks are not going to open until next Monday because they're trying to figure it out because the jolt was so dramatic. All day long, last night, all day long, you heard on the financial press, it's not going to matter, it's no big deal. Let me tell you something, folks. It's a huge deal, okay? It's a huge deal because banks are about perception, about trust, and it has to do with the 17 finance ministers, not necessarily Cyprus. It has to do with changing and taking people's money ASAP, and it has to do, the European Union is toast. That's the real bottom line. And in that context, now this is what's really cool. So check this out. You know, even the last couple times I was on CNBC, I had basically said I knew that there was an event. There had to be an event for a turn in the gold market. Okay, so check this out. Now, gold, my take is that we're still going to go back to the bottom. There's going to be another test here. You can see the gold stocks gave it up today. But what you have is this, and this is going to get interesting. So, and I'll go through the whole market, but check this out. The first, you know, run, meaning 2001 coming all the way up, you know, everyone always thought it's going to be about the dollar, the dollar, the dollar. It's not going to be about the dollar. The next run in gold is absolutely not about the dollar. What's about is it's about the Europeans taking all the citizens' money. That's what it's going to be about. You know, I'm going to see this, you know, piece by piece. And it's going to be interesting to see, and I used to get asked this question quite a bit, you know, 7 years ago. Can the dollar and gold run at the same time? Now, on a macro basis, I could see how that could happen. Why? Because what you have is this, that it doesn't mean that that couldn't happen in the United States, but in order for that to happen in the United States, and that's why people were going into the dollar, you wouldn't wake up overnight and this would happen. This would be a huge battle politically. And the bottom line is that politicians are taking their money. So what did that do last night? Markets got toasted, roasted, had volume. Today, and this is the deviance out here today, folks, okay? Europe was down. We were down much larger. S&Ps were down 20 points, you know, before we opened last night. They end up being down about 12 points at the open. Came all the way back twice. Both times when they're filling that gap coming back, they did not have the juice. This is the deviance, and this will keep people in the market, but they're going to get toasted and roasted. This is the next get-go, and the get-go here has absolutely everything to do about the European debt situation, and this is the key that you got to wrap your head around, though, is that European banks, and even our own banks, own huge amounts of bonds in Greece, in Italy, in Spain. So we'll see how this thing shakes out, but that's the way it is set up right now. Okay, Dow Industrials. Let's go over and take a look at the Dow. What you have with the Dow is this really flat. I can say the Dow's flat. It's down 62 bucks. Big deal. Flat market. 14,442. You know, this will start making its way down to this 14,200 level. NASDAQ Composite still is the weak link all around. Composite out here down 11 bucks today. Inside the composite, we closed at 32.37. Composite, let's see. So she's going to make her way down to this 32.13 level once again. Gold market. So if we take a look at gold, what you have with gold is this: is that she's building cars, but she did not have the juice. And this is going to be the deviant part of this whole thing, man. This is going to be wild, just shaking how this shakes out. So we did 164,000 contracts. You're still going into 250, 225. It's not going to fly. There's going to be one more little downdraft. The equities themselves, the gold equities, they popped at the get-go, but they're not ready yet. You know, but so I suspect there's going to be another test underneath there. Bonds. We go take a look at the bond market. What you have inside the bond market is this. Bond market did 439,000 contracts. It got as high as 143.24, closed at 142.22, and that when you push into higher price, it still stayed up $1, but it gave back basically $1. It's going to be right back up there because you pushed higher, and as you pushed higher with volume. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. We go take a look at the euro. If you want to see a classic, folks, absolute classic, what the euro has done, just, you know, it gapped down, you know, last night as soon as it opened up, and all it's been doing is pushing back to ice. And I suspect, you know, you get a couple counter trend bounces. Euro right now, though, is at 129.57. That little baby is making its way down to the price point of 120. 126 is the next get-go. And if we bring this back, let me bring this back a little. Oh yeah, so she's going a lot lower. She's running down to this 122 area. You know, the first area she got any type of support is 126, but 122 is game out here and game in spades. We go take a look at the some of the large caps out there. You had the Big Blue give back $1.21. McDonald's gave $1.71 rather. McDonald's gave back $1.10. Caterpillar was up 53 cents. Citigroup was down $1.07. J.P. Morgan Chase. Let's go over to J.P. Morgan and take a look and see what kind of. Okay, so hey, oh man, this is a trip. So what you had is this. Even J.P. Morgan, and this is as deviant as you get. You did have a rebalancing on Friday in the S&P, but bottom line, guess what you have? J.P. Morgan was making highs with 24 million shares, comes downtown with 60 million. You do 27 million today. J.P. Morgan Chase is on its way down to this 46, 85 area. We'll see that swing point. That's where it's going after right now. We take a look at, let's go to Bank of America and see what Bank of America is doing. Okay, so Bank of America is still hanging at these highs. She's at $12.56. As long as she stays over $12.44, which I doubt she will, but $12.44 keeps her in the higher range. Our phone number is 877. Citigroup is done. Citigroup got gap down, has the juice, has all of the above. You stay right there, folks. We'll come right back. We had the Dow finished out at 62. NASDAQ off 11. S&P's off 6.5. We had gold up 10. Bonds up 27 ticks. King dollar up 374 ticks. We're going to be right back.